Good evening. Ira Epstein with your financial market wrap-up, and this wrap-up is for Wednesday, the 12th of January, 2022. We're at 6:45 p.m. Central Time. You know, yesterday, day before, I was saying, I am not foolish enough to stand on a train track, watch a speeding train, and figure, can I jump left in the right amount of time, or right, or get caught on the track and run over? You know how many traders got run over today? I guarantee you on the brokerage books, plenty. Why? The market has been setting them up with the news that inflation's running rampant, probably going to come in at 7% for the month. It did. The market's going to see with X food and energy running about 5.5%. It did. And that's the kiss of death because the Fed's going to raise interest rates, blah, blah, blah. Okay. Yet the stock market takes off to the moon, has a big rally right after the news. Why? Because you don't stand on that track and try to figure out what the reactions are going to be. You can't win that bet. I've done this 52 years. I think it's my 53rd year now. And I've watched the traders try to do it. I remember the old cattle reports and the pig crop reports in the old days. I was at the Merck on the floor watching the Barry Linns with the old Linn Waldock firm and the Greenbergs that were the biggest pork belly traders of all time. And I'd watch this market go limit up, limit down, the craziest moves. And here's what I learned from it. You can't beat those guys. They have more money than you do. And in the old days, it was a whole different. You didn't have electronic trading. It was how much money and guts did they have. Well, today it's that same thing, just electronic. Why are you there? Let the money settle down. Let the first few minutes of it get into the market. Sometimes you get a head fake. It'll show itself. I know you don't believe me. 52 years of experience. You don't have my experience. Okay. The same thing happened in the energies today. Off to the races, to the upside. Copper. What a phenomenal gain today. All because yesterday, and few people paid attention to it, China said it's going to start easing money for the property market. That's a copper market any way you want to go with it. Okay. So in the S&P, we are now up 1% going into Thursday trade, which we're in right now. We're still far away from the all-time high on a closing basis. That's 478, 47.58. I can't even talk. 47.58.50. So it's still 90 points away from where you're at, or is it? Now it's not. This was last week. Now you've made back a bunch of that, so you're 42 points away. That's nothing in the world of futures. When you look at the chart action, we saw distribution. We saw the market breakdown coming back into the middle of that. Is that a trend? It is not. What you have as a pattern is a higher high and a lower low. The market, let's take a look. Yesterday you put on a bit of a rally, 42 points. Today you put on another 11 points on Wednesday. You added to that, and here you go. But its high point today, the market was 47.39. It sold off 20 of those points, so it went up nearly 100 points in 2 days. And tonight, a setback. Okay, I still see the market caught in this overall swing from there. It might be the new swing of this low to there. Where are the moving averages? Well, I don't even know what to tell you. What do I tell you the red line is? It's your line in the sand. Markets that are above it often like to go down and play at it, figure out what they're going to do next. When they're down, they can overshoot it, but they'll play with it often. That's all you're doing. The market's trying to figure out what to do next, and that's right where you're at right now. What about Bollinger Bands? Okay. They're fairly far away. They're not yet wrapping their arm around price, so you're trading within them. You've gone literally from the upper band to the lower band without real trends in place at all, just vertical moves down, back up a little bit, and sort of stuck right here. And in the midst of it, momentum going sideways. I want to go on record. I see nothing in this chart just yet. In the NASDAQ, this is a bearish market, bearish. The market's lower highs, lower lows, got oversold, challenged the 100-day, the lower Bollinger Band. If you rally back up, and this was Monday, I don't know if you're going to rally or not, but if you do, the way I teach charting, the logical resistance in the end, the first end, is the 18-day average. The first one is right here on the rallies back to the 100. The market's playing right there at that 100, and if you rally further, you know the number I'm looking for, and I'm looking for the resistance against that. Has anything changed on the chart? It has. You're no longer oversold. You're still in a downtrend. I do respect that you've got the 100 and the lower band, Bollinger Band support, but there's nothing on this chart that's bullish. The bias is down, you're under the 18-day average. The trend is down with lower highs, lower lows. I'll let the other guys play that. The strongest market has been the Dow, but strongest is a relative term. When you lost the embedded reading, here they're embedded. The K and the D line's been going sideways over 80. Once you close under 79, it's generally a move. You're going back to the 18-day average to regroup. Markets playing, goes back to the 18-day average Monday. This is only Wednesday we're on. Playing at it yesterday. Here's where you're at. I would be shocked if you don't get back down to it now and just stay in that. You're not trending again. The Russell has been caught between the upper and lower Bollinger Band, as I said to you yesterday. If the market gets a rally going, this is what we were talking about, you got so much resistance above the market. How do you get through all that is the question on it. But you're not trending. It's not a sale. It's an observation market. That's what I look at. In the VIX, first challenge of the upper Bollinger Band, the pros get out in longs, and often, for those of you who have been watching me for years, you know I'll tell you, be it back here or here, they're going to tiptoe into writing calls to get back down to this moving average. And that's exactly what occurred. In the bonds, you're bearish. Now, I will jump out of the bear position if you get the red line to close over 21 and the slow stochastic. Until then, just what I told you yesterday, and I'm repeating it. I think the pros will use these rallies to go short and try to press the market until that number is lost. 10-year note, identical situation. 5-year note, identical situation. Dollar, overdone. I never tell clients to go short under a Bollinger Band. In fact, the first time you hit it, after you've hit the 18-day average of closes, I'm looking for the support, which it did not hit here. It missed it by 3 points. If you hit the Bollinger Band, that's where I think the smart money, quote unquote, smart guys, trend is down. That's where I think they're going to lift their shorts. And I know you're going to tell me, but Ira, it closed right at that low. Okay. It's not about catching the bottom. It's catching, how do I repeat it over and over? You want that fabulous piece of the fillet out of that piece of the market. I'll call that piece of beef if you're a meat eater. If you're a plant eater, it might be the greatest plant you've ever seen. Whatever it is, let the other guy have the rest of it. Maybe you go down to the 100-day average. There'll be opportunities if you embed, but you're oversold. You're down into a logical area of support. It's the flip-flop in the euro. You would never get me telling my client to buy over that upper Bollinger Band. It isn't going to happen. British pound, up and away, still good. So they're after Boris Johnson. He may have to resign. I don't know. I watch Parliament. I love watching the Parliament. I don't know if you've ever watched it. You can go to Parliament TV. It is a ball. These people are vicious. There's no other way. And as a prime minister, you have to have leather as your skin. I mean, unbelievable. They're after him. We'll see if he survives throwing parties with his people. When I saw the parties, everybody was socially distanced, but the rules of the land where you can't do that, you can only be with one other person for whatever you were doing. So he broke the rules. Should he stay in office over that? I'll let somebody else figure it out. I'm certainly not a Brit, and they can decide for themselves. In any case, embedded, what do you think I think you should be doing if you had a deep break in the market? Until that red line closes under 79, I think you're going to be looking at buyers in the market. Bitcoin, what did you just do? So your embedded reading, this is the close of business yesterday. If you're not over 21. Today you closed at 26. So long, goodbye. Maybe that's a bottom in the market. But if you've been short, if you didn't cover, I'm assuming you covered some of your shorts down here because you've been embedded. You get that other, what I teach is that's where you come out of the rest of them and now you call it a day. Look at this differential between Brent and WTI. You know, people are enamored, and I don't get it. In the U.S., they're looking at a couple of year low in the oil stocks, but we're building the distillates and we're building gasoline stocks at the same time. For whatever reason, they have decided to focus in on the crude part of it. Okay. Now, crude is right up. If you look at the Brent, you're pushing $84. I would say the magic number that's way too high is probably mid-90s. Just because you're going to shut down economies and world pressure will hit OPEC plus about that. We in America were stupid. I don't have no other way to say this. We have enacted a bunch of rules to make us at mercy and create inflation on oil when our oil producers, their average cost of production is nowhere near in WTI oil, $82. But we're not going to let the federal lands, we're going to cut back, we're going to do all these stupid things. There's a better way to do it rather than you going to the gas pump and you paying double what it was a year ago. Makes no sense to me at all. Stupidity. In any case, going up, let Biden scream about all the inflation he wants. He caused it. In the heating oil, running to the upside, embedded. Enjoy your heating bill. Natural gas, well, finally, we have the move. As I told you, this is where you churn. How many times on this tape that I said, it's going to decide, my instincts are because you've come down so much, this is going to cause a low in winter. Did I tell my clients about it? Absolutely not, but I promise you they're not short via anything I said. You're just going back and forth. Tried yesterday, it closed at 383.40, couldn't burst out of it. Now this was Monday, not yesterday. This is Tuesday. It's starting to come out. Still, do you buy over the Bollinger Band and overbought? No. But I know not to be short the market, my gosh. And today the market takes off. So now you're probably overdone, overbought. Maybe you reached at a 100-day average, but why get involved in that? That's the point that I'm making. So when I put it all together, I know what we do. We write, by the way, I've got 52 years experience. Many of the guys that are writing these pros that are writing these reports, 30 years, 35, we're not young. We know what this is about. We've earned our teeth. We were all on the floor primarily, doing what we do. Some of the younger guys with 20 years might not have had the floor experience that we did. And frankly, there's no floor to gather that experience anymore. But we have the people, and they're writing, and they're explaining the years of knowledge, what they're seeing, what the spreads are telling you, what the options are telling you, what volume is telling you. And they're telling you where the markets are and the cash markets behind it, and they're giving you ideas. If you want to put that at work for yourself for a short while, it's free. We're not asking you for a credit card. We're not asking you to buy a thing. Do yourself and read what traders that know these games are writing about. We earn our teeth. Some of them are false at this point on these guys, but they've earned it on it. www.iraepstein.com. Sign up for the free offering, and I'm Ira Epstein.